When there's stuff on your mind and you're feeling unclear, just hop on the mic and speak without fear. Let's air out.
Oh my god, I just realized I don't have any of my audio files. What's going on, ladies and folks? A very ragtag podcast setup on this episode of Air and Air Out. Happy Good Friday. It is actually Good Friday for me as well. It's Friday morning, 8 a.m. I'm back home in Barrie, which you're probably going to immediately be able to tell because the quality of this podcast, like not content-wise, but I think audio, just like the overall tone and sound of it and the editing of it is going to be of a lower stature. I could get that right out of the park. I came back home yesterday on Thursday to come home for the Easter weekend, the long weekend. Got Friday off today. And last night I'm lying down into bed, getting ready to sleep at like 10 p.m. Keeping to a good schedule. And I was like, oh shit, podcast! Oh god! And I was gonna come down at I'll sneak down at like 2 in the morning into my dad's music room, where he listens to records constantly. Listens to a lot of music, cleans his records on his computer, downloaded Audacity. So Dad, if you're hearing this, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm on your computer right now. And I decided, no, instead I'll just actually get up when the parents are out walking the dog. I'll come down here, record a quick little podcast for Good Friday. No excuses. But just as I clicked record button, as you heard, I realized I don't have the intro audio. Actually, I guess, you know what, it might be in Google Drive. I might have Ethan's copy from Google Drive, I think. Don't have musical interludes, don't have anything. I don't have my computer here. I just downloaded Audacity and just plugged it. I brought my mic with me because I was like, that's all I need for a podcast. I don't plan ahead too much. So this is, just a jank setup, but I mean, what do you need for a podcast? Just need a microphone and a host. Really, that's about it. I guess something to record, a computer or something. Just talking to a microphone would only work for a live audience, I guess. But here we are. This was gonna try and continue off the pacing of last week's shorter 40-minute episode, kind of more of an open heart, just honesty and speaking from inside, and what an actual air and air out. I feel like it's kind of gotten away from that. It's kind of gotten into me just trying to be entertaining, trying to be a radio host, and just trying to be, I gotta be funny the whole time and gotta entertain people and keep them listening. And that's just that's why the YouTube channel kind of failed, because I'm trying to force something, and I like this podcast too much to let it fail. So get back to what's real, get back to airing out. I don't have my face to look at this episode either. I just gotta look at the recording. Jeez, I should just record it on Wednesday night, honestly. I had a moment of weakness where I was normally Ethan goes to band on Wednesday nights, and then I just record because I can be a little louder and not worry about it too much. And then Ethan's band got canceled. They rescheduled for Saturday, which you don't need to know that. So I was like, you know what? I can just record it at home. I can just go down to my dad's little music room. It's more soundproofed, and he's always blasting tunes down here, so it's a nice little a little private studio. I can kind of do my own thing, feel a little less pressure of people hearing me live, like I talked about in last week's episode. And then I totally forgot about it when I got home. Just I got immersed in the vacation, even though this vacation is actually going to be pretty much doing the exact same things I'm doing normally. I brought my guitar back, I brought my painting supplies back, I brought my books back. I'm going to go for some walks with some friends. Nothing's changed. I'm just not working today, and that's about it. So, how have I been? I've been doing really well. The job it's picking up more. It's been a absolutely beautiful week out on the golf course. I posted some photos on Instagram, just showing you the heavenly place I get to work at. It looks like that Windows XP screensaver, the rolling hills, the green grass, the blue sky. Absolutely beautiful place to work. And it's this is the worst state it's going to be in. The snow just melted, the grass hasn't been cut yet, and it's already so green. And then it was 18 degrees for the past few days, sun shining. Super cool. I've been raking. I've literally just been raking leaves for the past 4 days, and I'm not complaining at all. Like, my superintendents are like, if you ever want to stop raking, like, we can find something else for you to do, but you're just like really good at it. And I was like, I know, I'm crushing it. They said my attention to detail is absolutely on point, because I rake one spot and then I'm like, okay, I got all the bad spots done, and then I look over my lawn that I'm looking at, and like, okay, well, now there's way more. The not so bad spots now look really bad. Now I gotta touch those, and it's just a constant. I raked like the entire fairway of one of the holes. It was just a par 3 hole, but I raked the entire thing. And my superintendent's like, "Hey, great job. We'd love to see it. We love the passion you have for this nice greenery." I'm seeing right now on this audio, it is all over the place. I don't have my mic arm either, so I just have my blue snowball set up on a couple board games, and I'm kind of leaning into it. Don't have my pop filter. Don't have anything, but no, keep trekking on. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do music. I don't think I'll be able to put music behind this one, which I liked the music in the last episode. I just heard that it might have been a little too quiet. I was very afraid of having music just drown myself out, so I kind of dialed it down a little bit. But I think it depends on what I was listening to the podcast back on like over-ear headphones, and Ethan was one telling me it was a little quiet, and he was listening to it on like little Bluetooth headphones, earbuds that he got just for like going for walks. Parasoms, great if you're looking for some wireless Bluetooth earphones. Parasom on Amazon, like $25 or something. I got a pair too. Super nice for just going out for a walk or a run, listen to a podcast or some music if you don't care too much about the quality. So hopefully if other guys and gals, ladies and folks, listen to it over your headphones and stuff like that, hopefully the sound came through a little bit better. If not, it just means I can reuse the same songs over again because you guys wouldn't have heard them anyways. So that makes my job a little bit easier. Yeah. Also, there is a washing machine going off above me, and it's garbage day. So there could be a lot of background noise going on. Normally I do my noise cancellation in DaVinci Resolve, and I've stepped away from the Audacity editing because the noise cancellation tends to like make my voice pretty tinny. Takes out some of the tones and wavelengths, but I can play around. I also don't have headphones. I tried plugging headphones into my dad's computer, so I can't actually hear back what's going on. So yeah, it's just a duct tape together podcast that it's more so doing this is like I committed to doing a podcast every week. No excuses. Do it every week. I still got up at 6:30 this morning and did my yoga. Like, I could have easily been like, vacation time, no yoga for me, but got up and did it. Yeah, it's been good. There was something I wanted to talk about this week, actually. I'm not coming in completely empty-handed. Still, like, kind of, piggybacking off of last week's. I talked about, I talked about myself, things I struggle with, things I'm trying to work on, trying to get better at, kind of what rattles around in my head, and things I want to improve about myself. And this week I kind of want to talk about inspirations to myself, people. And when I was thinking about inspirations, it's pretty much mainly just like people on YouTube I watch that like fascinate me and make me like, I watch their stuff and I'm like, man, I want to do more stuff like them, or like I want to act more like them, and just everything they do and like how they approach their life is like that's what I want. So I got a small list here of people. They're pretty much like my YouTube. I have 2 accounts, the old one and the new one. It's a terrible way to describe it. But my new one, I don't want to like screw up my YouTube algorithm and like the recommended videos. My old account is just full of like 10-second like Twitch reaction clips and like just terrible, like very short videos that like there's no substance to them. And I was like, I hate my algorithm on that old account. So when I made this new Aaron the Brock account, I was like, I really want to be smart about what videos I'm watching, so that the YouTube just like continuously gives me like strong content that I'm really interested in watching, and like content that like you watch it and it makes you want to like be better, and like I want to emulate that. Like, oh, that editing style is so cool, that filming so cool, that idea, that personality, just all about it is like wow. I want to watch videos like the wow factor. So I've been pretty good at being very particular of what I'm watching, and so these, what should I do? I guess I would say 3 main people, maybe a 4th just for fun. But let's just get started. Let's start with probably the guy I've been watching the longest on all of out of all these channels is a guy named Bo Miles. Bo Miles is I guess he's kind of like he's a filmmaker, it's centered on him, but it's not like a vloggy style, you know. It's he's an Australian university professor. He teaches the coolest program, outdoor education. So he teaches students about living outdoors and kayaking and taking care of nature. And he started posting videos maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, maybe even longer. I could pull it up, but I just don't want to make more extra sounds for you guys. It's already rough enough clicky clacking on keyboards, so it wouldn't help. But this guy is he's the ideal embodiment of the trash man. He lives a very simple life with a super insightful and positive attitude. He lives very basically, he's got a big old farm out in Australia, huge property. He's very handsy and he's good with his hands, I think is a better way to say it. So he's got a lot of construction videos and building an outdoor office for his wife, and a junk paddle. He builds a paddle out of wood that he just finds on his commute to work. He's done the human bean challenge, where he only eats beans for a month. Cans of beans, just cold, because he read in a book. There's some story, I don't remember what the book was called, but it's about this mother that she fed her kids by just scooping beans onto the floor, and then the kids ate it. And then when they took the kids to the doctor, the kids were in perfect health, and they were amazed by that's all they ate. So he wanted to test that out, and he just only ate beans. And then for 30 days, then he ran an ultra marathon or something. He ran a far amount, only eating beans, and even on the run, he had cans of beans in his bag. He has this commute to work series where he just he normally has an hour drive into work, on highways and stuff like that, from his farm home into the city where his university is. And then he wanted to challenge himself, so he did a walk to work challenge, and this is where the true trash man comes in. And he essentially leaves with just shoes and his jacket, and that's it. And then anything else he wants, he has to just find on the road that people have chucked out of their cars. So he finds scarves and hats and a safety vest. He found a McDonald's sweet and sour packet that he just drank. He found a banana that had this banana still got one good bite left in it, and just ate the banana. He had to find sleeping stuff, and he made a bed by the side of the highway, and he just walked for 2 days to get to work to go give a lecture on that walk. And he did it purely for the adventure of doing it, and just for saying he did it. And then he did that same thing he kayaked all the way to work, found a river. It took him 4 days to kayak all the way from his home on this very crappy river that just meanders all the way around to get to his university. Then he had to drag his kayak. Oh man, I could sit here all day and just describe all his different videos to you. But I think if you are looking for what the trash man aesthetic is, it's not a garbage man like you hear outside, people picking up trash, which I'd totally do that job too, though, honestly. I'm not putting them down. I feel that's a pretty sick gig. The trash man aesthetic is just a very simple means of living. I don't want flashy stuff. I don't want fancy stuff. It's just as long as I'm healthy and I'm doing stuff I enjoy, and it's all about the journey. I feel that's really all I need in life. And Bo Miles is every time I watch this video, I just want to do more adventuring things, and try new things, and get out there and see what's going on, and see what kind of things I can accomplish. So yeah, Bo Miles, the first man, the true trash man. I should get a portrait of him. I should paint a portrait of him and hang it on my wall. So he's then every day when I wake up, I'm trash man. I can look at that picture. That's a good idea. I was thinking about what to paint. Maybe I should paint that this weekend. I was hoping, I brought my painting supplies back. I'm really struggling to figure out what kind of things I want to paint. I was maybe there's just naturally things kind of pop up. I think that's a good idea. And then maybe I can send it to him, and then get some fame, publicity off that. I am a trash man as well, Bo. It's all right, cunt, love it. That's not a very good Australian accent. Anyways, let's get to the next one. We went from male. Let's go to female, and let's talk about Simonyetch. Simonyetch. It is spelled, not spelled Yetch though. She's Swedish. Giertz. And I'm gonna preface this for you guys. She's definitely like I got a crush on her. She's like my YouTube crush. Just her vibe as well. Just like I think is so darn cute. But she was formerly known as the Queen of Shitty Robots, and that's how she kind of like blew up on YouTube. She was making all these like robots that just do. The robots have a purpose, and they just do it in a very poor manner. Off the top of my head, think about like a robot that feeds her soup, and ends up just like throwing soup all over her. Robots for like cutting vegetables, and it's very, very scary, very dangerous. An applause robot, so I think she had like rubber hands attached to it, and then put it on her head, and it claps. A robot that feeds her popcorn, so it was like those those beer can hats that had like a straw going into your mouth. Imagine that, except instead of 2 beer cans, it was 2 bags of popcorn, and then below the bags were like some hands that would like the popcorn would drop in the hand and then it would rotate into her mouth. You just kind of throw popcorn at her face, and they're not like extremely well done. I think it's more like the humor in the idea, and then like being a poor execution, just being like, this does satisfy the goal of making this specific robot, but it's not like a ton of effort going into the flash and stuff. It's more about, same thing with Bill Miles, more like the adventure and figuring it out, and like how to do these different things, and like how to solve this problem. And then like once you get it done, you kind of move on to the next thing, because it's just fun making stuff, and you can see that a lot in her videos. And she has since moved on from the Queen of Shitty Robots into more of just like lately it's been like a lot of furniture design. The most recent video I think she has out there is she did like a stained glass window. She wanted to make a window that kind of was like a snow globe, that had like little particles floating in it, and there's like bubbles coming out of it, and it was way too hard. So, but she shows all her failures in that too, and then made a stained glass window. Super entertaining video. She also made the very first Tesla truck. I think that's kind of also what blew her up. As after the Queen of Shitty Robots, she bought a Tesla Model 3, Model S, I don't know what the models are, and then like cut off the back and made it a pickup truck. It was very well done. That's a very cool video too, and that kind of also blew her up and put her on the map. It looks she calls it Truckla. Her Tesla truck looks way better than the dumb Cybertruck that Elon designed, because that thing just looks like trash. But I mean, watching all her videos, she's got this very like awkward, very insecure, I think I was trying to figure out what it is that like attracted me to her, and it's like this very talented people that are like shy about sharing their talent, very like she talks about her videos like, I don't want to share, it's just not very good, it's kind of sucks, I think these ideas are dumb, and I'm like, yeah, that is super cute. I dig that a lot, because I think I feel that way a lot, and I'm like, that just, it resonates with me. She made a proud parent machine. I think that's if you're gonna watch a video first, if you're just to check her out, I guess Simone, Simone Yetch, but it's spelled Giertz. You can just search Queen of Shitty Robots and you'll find it too. But the proud parent machine, this thing she mounted on her wall, you put in a quarter, then an arm that extends out and pats you on the back, and it says, "Proud of you, son," for 25 cents. And like that's a fun idea, a funny video. Just her whole aesthetic and vibe, and she did a TED Talk too that you could check out, just talking about why she makes things that are useless. And I should have rewatched that before doing this podcast. I watched it like a couple weeks ago, but it's the same idea, like just getting out there and like experimenting with things and like trying new things, getting out of your comfort zone, and just making things that interest you, and like you're gonna learn all the things. Like every project she does, she learns from that project and takes into the next one. So she's got like so many different talents now, like welding, and she's got CNCs and designing CAD files and all this very cool stuff. Like I think if you have similar like DIY interests and like robotics interests and like creative interests like me, I think you'll click on one video, watch that, and then probably click on a few more. And then she also has her birthday's November 1st. Maybe that's also why I have a crush on her. Same birthday over here. So Simone, if you're listening, we only have to get one birthday cake a year because we can share it. So I'm just tossing it out there. Is there anything else I want to say about Simone? I feel like if I go too quickly through all these things, I'm gonna have a very short podcast. But it's very hard to describe. I just want you guys, it's hard to describe without just talking about all their videos and give you an audio breakdown of every single video that all these people have created. But I think you can see the theme in the two people so far. It's just doing your own thing and just not being afraid to try things that no one else is doing. And that might be something I struggle with. Going my own way and straying off the beaten path that everyone else is going for. So let's just get to the final guy, and maybe I can do a wrap-up thoughts of all three. The last guy, his name is Eric Anders Lang. He has his own YouTube channel called Random Golf Club Films. Yeah, RGC, Random Golf Club Films. But he does this other series for a YouTube channel called Scratch. That's Scratch with a K. It's called Adventures in Golf. And I've just recently been watching season 6 that released last year. And again, a super cool filmmaker. And it's not you might be thinking, because if you're not super into golf, you might not enjoy his videos. But they're much more travel and lifestyle videos centered around a golf location. But it's not about the sport of golf. It's much more focused on golf courses, and then the people who work on the golf course, and the area around the golf course that brings people into this golf course, and why this area is so unique and specific. So thinking about the ones I've watched recently, he was in this desert town. I wish I could remember the name, Murmur or something. It's this art-centric town, and it's a golf course in the middle of the desert, which is not very common at all. But most of the video is centered around the people who live in the town, and they are all people who moved from New York City and had all these they're lawyers and politicians and newspaper people, and they all left that big city life to come to this small town in the middle of nowhere and start up something new, going from being an attorney to owning a meat packing plant and a butcher, not a butcher, I don't know what the correct term is, a meat business. They have a bunch of cattle, and they dry them on the big racks and they cut it up. I guess, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You eat meat, people. And then a guy an artist who also is a fireman. He has all these different jobs. They're a postal worker. He works in the library. You have to have a bunch of different jobs in a small town. So super cool stuff like that. He played around in golf with the best blind golfers in the world, and he himself blindfolded himself for the entire course, and then talked about the immediately the isolation he felt of losing his vision, feeling so distant from everyone, and how emotional it was already. And that's a super interesting video as well, seeing how it's cool just seeing how blind people can still play golf, but then also just the reality of life without vision, which it's not something I think about on a day-to-day basis. I got my vision, and I'm happy for it. And losing it would be a bit different. So yeah, Eric Anders Lang. He again, he's the kind of guy I watch his videos and man, I just want to hang out with this guy. He's just got such a cool vibe. I like the cut of his jib. He's the kind of guy you wanna sit down and talk to. He mentioned offhand in one of his videos that he spent some time just sleeping in his car, driving around the U.S. and just golfing at different courses, just for the adventure of it. And his videos are never they're not golf tips. They're not talking about the score and what he shoots on this course is very rarely ever mentioned. They have footage of him golfing on the course, but it's more them talking about the environment, talking to the people, and getting to know them. So yeah, super Scratch Adventures in Golf. I've only watched season 6 so far. Based on reading YouTube comments, I guess every season it gets better. It's like Netflix style documentary videos, and they're completely free on YouTube. Incredible content, and incredibly entertaining. And then that just his vibe of he's just a great guy. And all these people are they all have personalities and stuff that I just aspire to want to have that. I want to have bows adventurous attitude to like just do things and challenges just for the sake of challenges, and like Simone's just like creativity to just like create things that she pops into her head, and figure out ways to solve these problems, and then Eric's ability to just like talk to people from all across the world and like relate to everybody, even if there's a language barrier, no matter what. He's just adventuring, like finding the enjoyment in life across the country, even just based on his small little hobby. Just all three of these people, I watch the videos, and just it makes the rest of my day like I want to do more, and it makes me like want to try out new things and like try and get out there, and not necessarily it doesn't necessarily make me want to do like YouTube videos, but it makes me want to try some adventures and try and like getting uncomfortable. And I have so since watching those videos, I have actually booked myself a solo camping trip at the end of May. Not going anywhere, like I'm not going way deep in the bush, just with a knife and a pair of duct tape, but going to Grand Bend, Pinery Provincial Park. Just booked a single tent, single car, gonna go by myself. There's no electricity at the site. Just gonna go for 3 days and kind of relax and get away from everything, see how I do on my own for a weekend. Really just going with no real expectations, just try and like live in the flow and see what happens. So I'm really excited for that. I'm gonna have to buy some camping equipment, some food and maybe some flashlights and stuff like that. We got a tent and I got sleeping bags and we got an air mattress, so I got most of the stuff. And it's car camping, so I'm gonna have Delilah there with me, like for any like real emergencies. And it's a provincial park, so it's like it's pretty safe. But I'm really looking forward to that. Like I want to do this, I want to start exploring next year and like going off on my own. So I better make sure I'm comfortable on my own and okay on my own, and can like I'm not gonna get there like Friday night and then wake up Saturday morning like, this sucks, man, I'm leaving, I'm driving back to Waterloo, this is terrible. Camping blows without drinking and friends. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that at the end of May. Start of May, I got soccer starting up too, so we're getting out there, we're trying new things. I think that's the key, it's just to keep putting myself out there. Maybe one day this year I'll finally get up on stage and do an open mic. Who knows? I think at this point I would do it for the sake of like saying I did it and like being like proud of myself that I actually got up on stage. Because stand-up comedy is it's like, public speaking is everyone's number one fear. That's like a Jerry Seinfeld Jerry Seinfeld bit. Like people's number one fear is talking about public speaking, and number two is death. So they'd rather die than talk in front of people. And I'm like, I tell myself I don't really have that fear of public speaking. I was good at public speaking every time I've done it, and then now I do no public speaking. So I think that would be just doing it, no matter how it goes. I think I would be very proud of myself, and give myself a real pat on the back, saying like I did it. And I think that'd be a great feeling and a great confidence booster. Even I think doing it once would lead to probably doing it more times. But like I said, I got all the confidence to get up to the mic, no confidence to speak into the mic. So it's an everlasting journey that I gotta get to. And hopefully I can get there. Hopefully on this podcast you get to hear more of that journey and things coming together, and more about me coming out on this podcast, and less about a lot of it's been focused on like past stories. And I guess I have the only present stories to tell you about is like talking about work. And there's gonna be a lot less of that, honestly, interestingly enough, because when I worked at Loblaw as a job I didn't like, I had a bunch of things I wanted to say about it because I just disliked it. But now that I've got like such a job that I enjoy so much, and it's like there's not much to say about it. Like I'm just having a really good time out there, and it's beautiful. It's a great group of people. I think there's this. It's really funny to me that there's like this big fancy $1 million clubhouse, for all these multi-millionaires that come here. A lot of them, like they're south in the winter and they come up here for their summers to just gab with each other, talk about evading taxes and stuff, and whatever rich people talk about, their newest cars and home renovations or whatever. I don't know, I'm not part of that crew. But then on the side of that, there's the people that like run the country club, and it's just like this ragtag, like a bunch of retired guys, senior guys, then a bunch of students, then a bunch of people who like went to school for something and they didn't know what they wanted to do, and they end up at this golf course, and just like the complete opposite. just across the parking lot from all these millionaire people, and we're like creating that experience for them. It's just it's an interesting thing to be a part of, and I'm really glad I'm a part of it. I think I can learn a lot of skills here that I think I could take with me to any golf course, which is nice. But ideally, I mean, I think I said before, I never want to use my resume again. But if I just had to use this golf course, you know, if I could just be like, hey, I was an environmental scientist, I've got 2 degrees, I got a degree and a diploma, and I've got a bunch of knowledge about how golf courses work, I think I could get another job at a golf course. And if that became what my life is, you know, work at a golf course in the summer and then kind of adventure the rest of the year, I think that'd be a really fun way to spend my time. I think that'd be super cool. And then, you know, this week and going forward, I'm just kind of like trying to narrow down my hobbies. I'm real bad at like watching a video on something that just pops up into my feed, and then just immediately like, I want to do that hobby. And like lately, the thing's been photography. So I was watching all these old skateboarding videos. I've never skateboarded in my life, but all these like old like the explosion of skateboarding again, I guess in like the 80s and 90s. Watching those like old school videos and skate videos and stuff like that. I started watching those and like watching stuff about like Rodney Mullen and how he was so creative and like created so many moves that people to this day have still not been able to replicate. And then from there, I was watching. I got into Jason Lee was part of one of my favorite TV shows that was canceled way too early. My Name is Earl. If you haven't watched My Name is Earl, it's such a funny show. It's only 4 seasons. That ends on a cliffhanger and will never be finished, which is so frustrating. But Jason Lee he started off as a professional skateboarder and then moved into acting, and now so I was watching a podcast with him talking about, you know, everything he's into, and he started talking about photography, and so I started watching all these photography videos, and like he's into Polaroid photography and like film photography, which the aesthetic and like the quality of the images, because they're not like high res, really glossy images that you get from like a DSLR camera. They're like these like gritty, very flat, like black and white photos, and it's just I don't know, that aesthetic of it was so much appeal to me. And then immediately I'm like, I want to get into photography, and I'm like, I want to get a Polaroid camera. I like physical media. That's why I'm enjoying the tablet drawing, and it's cool that I can like kind of execute ideas that wouldn't be possible on the painting, because I can like constantly like retouch up things on the tablet, whereas painting, you're committing to that paint going down. But I like the idea of like a camera that prints an image right then and there. Then you have this physical, you know, like I can take 1,000 photos on my phone of an event, and then I mean, how many of those photos am I actually going to go back and look at? And those are photos of the event, but like a Polaroid, it's a photo from the event, you know? I took that picture in the moment and it printed right away, and now I have it. And the idea of being able to like snap one picture of something and then just like sharpening like the date and what it was on the back of it, and like that will be my memento from this moment, rather than having 1,000 pictures on my phone that I'm never going to look at. I can have this one photo, and looking at that photo will just bring back all the memories of that place, which is like, that should be what photos are for, like for remembering, you know, things that happen in your life and like events. And I think that's so I was looking at Polaroid cameras, and I almost bought a new Polaroid. There's like this Polaroid instant cameras, and they have the like, they're not high quality. I was reading the reviews, and they have this like vintage feel to them. The film is very expensive. It's like ends up being like $2 to $3 a picture, which I think would make you like be very particular about what you take pictures of, which I like that too. You're not just ending up with thousands of pictures. You just have like a few building a photo album. But I refrained, because I have this bad habit of just immediately diving headfirst into a hobby, and then it just falls apart when I move on to the next hobby inevitably. So I got into this whole story because I wanted to say that I've just been focusing on this week just like guitar and art. That's all I want to focus on. When I get home from work, I just want to do guitar and art. If I focus on those two things and getting much better at those two things, I think that, you know, I'll get to a point where I don't have to do them as frequently, and then I can kind of start moving into new hobbies. But I just really want some guitar. I'm just gonna focus on guitar, and if I get that down, I think I enjoy them both. I have been, if you saw on the last podcast on YouTube, I did use some unused footage from Potent Paints of the Trashman painting. I just threw that on the background of the video, and I ended up recording another video of a painting that I think I kind of like that idea of just, seeing me just talk to the camera. I don't know how entertaining that is for a video podcast. If I had like guests on and stuff like that, or if I was like pulling up stuff on YouTube and like showing you stuff like that, it makes sense for having a video. But I'm not doing any of that. I'm just talking to a camera and staring at it, or not even staring at it, just like looking around my room. So I thought, if I just had these, like a 40-minute version of my paintings, at least there's some substance to what is going into the video, and like if you could just still just like throw it on and like not really pay attention to it, but I like the idea of just having something there that could keep people's attention, that if you're you can just lean back in your chair and just kind of watch it happen. So I recorded another painting video. I might try and do like one of those a week again, try and slowly get back into it. It was fun, having fun painting once again. Unfortunately I can't film this, if I do paint this bow mouth portrait, can't film it at home, but I have a painting for this podcast that I guess it'll have to go up next week, because I don't have access to it right now, because it's back in Waterloo. But yeah, that's something I'm having fun with, getting back into painting. And if you are not following my Instagram, Aaron the Brock, I have just started posting more art things on there and using it as more of an art outlet. So there's gonna be a lot of paintings going up there, and more tablet drawings. At some point, I'm sure I could get like little animations going on there. I want to get the drawing down first before I start overcomplicating things. But like the last tablet drawing, I like it pretty much. It's a big McDonald's UFO destroying a Burger King, and then Wendy's is looking terrified and off to the side. So that's a lot of fun. A lot of fun just to sit down on the computer, put on a podcast, and just kind of do art things, and then playing guitar. I've started trying to branch out, and I've been looking at like Spanish guitar songs and learning like Spanish techniques, which a lot of complicated like different strumming techniques, very hard, like percussive motions, like hitting the strings and hitting the guitar, and like up down string, hit strings, down string, hit guitar. Very complicated, very hard to like wrap your head around. So I'm having it's a level of difficulty that's not impossible, but it's hard enough that it makes you want to keep practicing it. So that's been a lot of fun. I think that's gonna also like improve just my overall like strumming ability, and like learning strumming patterns, and like better control of my right hand, my strum hand. Yeah, so that's been cool with guitar. Just learning new things, trying to excel that skill as much as I can. And other than that, going forward, just keep trying new things, keeping on, That's I think that's about all I got for you guys. Really, I don't want to drag these things out any more than I have to. We did 40 minutes off the cuff. I love that. So, if anyone was worried about me being a downer and talking about my flaws last week, have no fear. I am doing well. I am enjoying things. I've got a lot of things to look forward to in the future. A lot of things going on. Gonna be a lot of fun. Gonna keep trying to get myself out there, do things to make me uncomfortable. So hopefully doing all that stuff will just lead to more podcasts and more things to talk about, where I don't have to kind of force myself to ramble on for 2 hours and try and fill space of kind of nothingness. Kind of not a lot going on. I will get a new mic at some point. We'll get Ethan back here as well at some point. I'm sure more topics are going to come up that I want to dive into and explain them to you guys and explain them to Ethan. So that's not done forever, but just going to see where the river takes us. See what happens. Not going to try and force something out of this life. Just going to kind of do my thing and see what falls into place. So thanks for listening, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Easter, or most of you probably listen to this after Easter, so I hope you had a wonderful Easter. Ate some good food with your family. We are having, our Easter meal is ham and scalloped potatoes, which I'm so looking forward to. Get a nice hot mustard on that ham, and ooh baby! Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be delicious. And scalloped potatoes, oh, you can't go wrong with scalloped potatoes. So that's going to be delicious. Hope you guys eat some delicious food too. Maybe see some family, see some friends. Just have a good, relaxing weekend. And we'll talk to you once again next Friday. Hopefully, I'm not actually talking on Friday because this is pretty stressful. Trying to figure this out and get this going. Make sure I don't miss a podcast week for episode. I don't even know what episode it is anymore. 32? I think 32. Yeah, 32 sounds pretty good. I also like that I'm doing enough of these. I'm forgetting what number we're on. That's cool. That means I've done a lot of them. So thanks for listening, and have yourself a great day. Aaron out.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Now take what you learned and have a great day. Damn, it feels good to air out.